Well, that was fast. The abandoned hardly has a home now. Appreciate it, Jay.
All right, now back to the tailbone shaker. This is the last thing I got to say. Dog, what the fuck is up with the eyebrow shit? What is that? What happened to her? I seen where you said, well, I was trying to see if Ryan would notice. One, I don't wake up and check out dudes' eyebrows. Okay? It's not something I do. Two, what do you wear your hat like this every day? If I wanted to see them, well, goddamn, I can't. You're covering up where your eyebrows are. You see how this, you see? Then I heard through the grapevine you told somebody, oh yeah, my eyebrows just fell off when, about a week after Felicia had the baby. Do what? I don't think that's a thing, man. And last but not least, the real reason, according to you. Everyone's seen it. Everybody was being like, yo, what the fuck's up with homie and his forehead? When you shaved him off and you made that big Harry Potter post being like, back in the ancient Egyptian times, during the Anunnaki, it was this sacred language to mourn for your cat as long as it took your eyebrows to grow back. What the f are you saying? You're lucky you didn't get zip-tied by me and brought to the gate out front. That ain't normal. You're not Egyptian. Even if you was, what? Well, one of my other cats died, so I shaved everything off and broke my glasses.
Okay, so I got a problem here. There's only one problem with that. Because, yeah, if, oh, here, let me find this chat. Welcome, everybody, and we're back again. You see, there's only one problem with Mr. Upchurch here, because, oh my, how we forget, right? Because I know somebody else that said some really off-the-wall stuff, like really off-the-wall stuff.
I would not say this unless I was 100% confident. Kylie Rodney is not real. Her grandfather is not real. Her dad is not real. Her mom is not real. If you want me to be real, be real.
Remember that? Because we do. And we as the Creek Squad fan group that used to support you and follow you that no longer do. I mean, I know you like to pretend that, you know, you still have Creek Squad as a fan base. And I know the leftover blind loyalists, low IQ stragglers that still cling on to your lies and your bullcrap want to believe that they're Creek Squad, but they're not. I'm Creek Squad. People like me are Creek Squad. The people that couldn't stomach watching you turn your channel into, instead of being a place for fun, comedy, and music, it's a place where you use your fans, your influence, your money and your channel's reach as a weapon to create beefs and settle beefs and beat up on little people and pick on people that can't fight back, and then torment a grieving family, dox women that live alone, and encourage these low IQ slime bags that you call fans to go out and do nasty stuff. Backhandedly give you approval and even review. Yeah. Creek Squad don't mess with you no more, dude. I know you want to think they do, but go look at your views. You see the views that you have today, that's Crack Squad. That's your uneducated, low IQ, just sleazy individual, no moral foundation, no integrity, no nothing. They just blindly follow whatever you do, and it's okay as long as you're doing it. It's only wrong if someone else does it. They have selective moral outrage, selective memory, a selective everything because they have a selective brain cells. I'm just saying.
All the pictures and videos you're seeing of this Kylie Rodney person are actual pictures and videos from someone else named Kylie.
Yeah, I completely doxed that 16-year-old girl and her father, and said where she went to school, said where she worked, said where her father worked, Google satellited over their house, showed their car. And the only thing that Callie Ross, a very real person, was guilty of was having blonde hair and living in California and being 16 once. That's what she was guilty of. And when her father begged you to take down his 16-year-old daughter's photos, and you laughed at him and said no, and he had to send the cops to your house, we all think that was weird. Creek Squad. We thought that was weird and something that we couldn't stomach. And excuse me one sec. Somebody keeps texting. I just want to make sure it ain't something important. Yeah, that's some kind of background music that twisted that what's his face, or StreamYards does by default. And yeah, I'll turn it off. I didn't even know it was playing. It's odd you can't hear it on this side. There we go. Anyway, yeah, I didn't even hear that over here. For some of you that don't know, StreamYards did a whole bunch of updates. So your default settings have all changed. I had to go back and reset a bunch of stuff in the last minute that I didn't know they had changed right when I went live. But anyway, yeah, upchurch. You can call it weird that ripped his eyebrows aren't there. You really don't know why, right? The fact that the notion that he shaved them off to warn his cat while they grew back, well, that theory's sort of out the window for a couple of reasons. One is his eyebrows were shaved way before that happened. And two, he would have let them grow back while he was mourning his cat. So that doesn't apply. It's obviously, there's a legit reason. And it is what it is. But I don't think it's near as odd as what we witnessed from you over the last 3 years. And see, I guess the thing of it is, you know, if you had a drug problem, you'd have an excuse for that, right? You'd have a really good excuse for all this weirdness if you had a drug problem. But, you know, you swear up and down you're not doing drugs and you're totally sober and you're the best you've ever been. Well, then what is the excuse? What is this freaking weirdness? Talking about fake parents and fake kids missing and, you know, fake thunderstorms and fake fires and fake everything's a conspiracy and
are 5 to 7 years old, which is the same amount of time as this CRV has been registered to this family's name.
You missed it, I missed it, everybody missed it. Don't know how we did. Look at this shit. Listen where Doug from AWP said Kylie Rodney went missing from.
16-year-old Kylie Rodney was last seen at a 300-person end of summer high school party in the Tahoe National Forest that stretched from Friday night into the early morning hours of Saturday.
Tahoe National Forest. All right. Well, why is Tahoe National Forest very far away from Prosser Creek Reservoir?
Watch this stupidity. You know, he didn't have sense enough to know that if you go to Google Maps and you type Tahoe National Forest in, it's going to put a red dot in the middle of the forest. Okay, that red dot doesn't indicate the entire park. That red dot indicates the very center of the park. Okay, that park is 18,000 acres. It's 1,800 square miles. And Truckee, California, and Prosser Family Campground are well within the park. Well within the park. Poor bastard.
P.S. Molly, go lightly. Why'd you end your live? We want to know. It appears that Molly Go Lightly deleted her live.
This
We
is
recorded the entire thing.
pay real close attention to this one because this is quite possibly, I mean, if he were kidding, it would have been really, really funny. There's only one problem. He wasn't kidding. And wait till you hear this shit.
Good. Guess what I just found?
What? All right.
You're about to see on YouTube in 10 minutes. I found everybody.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think you've solved the case?
I solved at least half of it. What information I have, when I put it out, if it's not known, and it will be known then, everything's going to fucking go nuts.
Now, are you tying up loose ends?
I'm showing you exactly where everything goes.
He's going to burn it down.
The pictures that are being used are old. They're old pictures of the same person who's involved in the case right now.
Why do you think that this would be happening?
Because it's an easy way to make a fuck ton of money. And the RAM sticker, all this is being done on the computer, right? What's RAM? What does RAM stand for in computers? Random access memory. If you give a bunch of random facts that are accessible, your memory's fucked up.
Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God, I forgot how stupid that was.
Random access memory.
For those of you that don't know, okay, he is referring to Kylie's car had a RAM sticker on the back. It was just a sticker of the a ram's head with the horns. It had no particular meaning other than she thought it looked cool and she stuck it on there. That's it. According to her friends, that was the whole reason. That's all there was to it. There was absolutely nothing else to it. And yeah, Ryan equated that to random access memory. I guess you would need a lot of random access memory if you were going to fake a police station, fake a news network, fake volunteers looking for a missing person, fake a missing person, fake the police, fake the state highway patrol, fake the search crew that is trying to find the girl, fake putting the girl in the water, fake putting her car in the water, fake record a video of her steering into the water, fake a video of the car being extracted from the water. It's all fake because they want to scam $1,500 from a GoFundMe account that's not associated with any of them. Well, you know, when you have the key to random access memory, Arbor fan, you know, it could lead to a lot of brilliance down the road. Okay, let's get this video done. There's more. Now, this is hypocrite number 2. And hypocrite number 2 is about to just give an absolutely one-sided, over-the-top biased opinion of someone that is hypocritical of himself.
Okay, B. Millie, if you're still in here, let me tell you why the trolls keep coming after you. There's an individual that keeps shouting you all out. Goes by the name of Johnny Gobble. I'm pretty sure you know who he is. Johnny Gobble is very, very foul and does some very foul and disgusting things to people. Prime example, shout out to the Gotcha Man. Gotcha Man's dad was on his deathbed dying of cancer. Johnny Gobble felt the need to go to Gotcha Man's dad's house while in hospice care to try to troll him to get at his son. That's one, right? Strike one right there.
Okay, that's not even remotely close to reality. You left out the part where the Gotcha Man trolled Johnny Gobble for a year relentlessly. He went to Johnny Gobble's hometown. He went to where Johnny Gobble bought his car and tried to start trouble. He called local businesses, trying to cause trouble for Johnny or saying he was Johnny and causing trouble. He did everything short of enough to probably get arrested. And I think if Johnny would have pursued a criminal complaint hard enough, he probably would have been arrested. And then Johnny drove down the same street that Gotcha Man's dad lives on and recorded as he drove by. And it's actually a fairly main drag through Portsmouth. And Johnny was just going that way, so he thought it'd be funny to just show him, yeah, I do know where you live, as a matter of fact. And I could do the same thing back to you that you've been doing to me for a year. You see, the Gotcha Man did the same weaselly, sissy, city kid, weasel, just bitch face move that Rusty Truck did. Okay. See, Rusty Truck did that to me. trolled me relentlessly for a year, doxed me in every way humanly possible, and then some. Did all kinds of stuff outside of YouTube, like real life stuff. And then when I did just the slightest bit back to him, he ran to the police like a little bitch. And that's exactly what you're doing here. You left out the big part where the gotcha man teased Johnny and actually made a video making fun of Johnny when his mom died. The gotcha man made several videos making fun of Johnny being abused as a child and being in foster care, even though the gotcha man was in foster care himself. And the gotcha man did those things to Johnny because he knows that that's a point of pain and PTSD for most people that endured foster care and child abuse. And I don't think driving down a street affects anyone, dude. But I think calling a local business in a small town where someone lives and functions daily and trying to pull some crap to make people mad at someone, that's worse. Actually making a video laughing at someone because they were abused as a child. Yeah, that's worse in my book. So who's the really sleazy, slimy, awful, horrible person? Is it Gotcha Man? Or is it Johnny Gobble's response finally to Gotcha Man? Because I can totally relate. I put up with a lot of the same crap that Johnny put up with. And Ryan Upchurch's slimy fan base, known as Crack Squad, the laughing stocks of YouTube, Rusty Truck being their grand poopah, the world record holder, 40 windshield shattering, whatever, one upper of the year statue, better at everything. I don't know. You tell me what's worse, because they do some pretty horrendous stuff to people, and you keep them company with a lot of those people. I would say the crap that the Gotcha Man did to Dagburn and to Upchurch, both, is far more despicable than anything I've seen Johnny do in response to it. And see, it's a whole different thing there, Triple T, when you haven't even spoke to someone, you haven't ever bothered someone, and in fact, you've actually gave them praise and gave them a shout out, and then they turn around and do something that crappy to you. That's just a terrible person. Wouldn't you agree? Just a low quality human being. And that's the case with the Gotcha Man. The Gotcha Man will befriend someone, pretend to be their friend, only to then sink it right in the back. So, just saying. Just saying.
Strike two. There was another content creator named Wade Deaver, may he rest in peace, who had cancer. He had, I believe, 3 different types of cancer at the same time. He was stage 4.
He had one cancer at the one time, and he was like stage 2. But finally developed into stage 4. He didn't have stage 4 terminal cancer in 2 vital body organs for 2 years. It's just impossible. But that's impossible. Can't happen. He was grossly exaggerating his diagnosis for pity, for e-pity. The way the Gotcha Man, e-begs, like he couldn't even bury his own father. He had to e-beg and have strangers on the internet bury his father because he was too worthless to do it himself. Wade Deaver doesn't deserve any respect from anybody I know. You know, maybe you think he was an upstanding person. I think he was a piece of shit. Actually, a creepy weirdo piece of shit that spent way too much time trying to pry into the personal lives of people that had never spoken a word to him simply because they criticized Ryan Upchurch. And he didn't bother people on YouTube. He bothered people in real life. And he did it multiple times. Multiple times. He made 48 videos slandering me and my family before I even knew who he was. He went back 10 years on my Facebook and tried to make a friend's request and contact with every single person that had ever commented on my Facebook for 10 years. He sent a message to and a friend's request to, including very young relatives, female. So maybe in your eyes, he was an upstanding citizen, but in my eyes, he was a massive piece of shit and a liar. Just an absolute unmitigated liar who used his medical condition to e-beg for shit he didn't need, like weed and 35 monitors. You know.
Got on the panel with this man and said, why don't you hurry up and die from your cancer, you piece of shit?
And so you didn't hear what Wade said to him that prompted that response? Because we did. We heard what prompted that. So I like your little one-sided biasness. But I'll let you finish here, and then we're going to remind you why you're a hypocrite today.
Who says that to someone who's fighting for their life? I'll tell you who. Johnny Goblin.
And I'll just tell you now, Triple T, you know, I'm a cancer survivor. I had to have a bone marrow transplant, and I was in a hospital for just shy of a year, in a hospital bed, in the hospital. And then was on the couch for a little over a year in recovery. I lost well over 100 pounds, and Wade Deaver and Rusty Truck and his friends got a hold of my real medical records and then doctored them and passed them around to people, insinuating I had AIDS. And that's why I lost all this weight, was because I had AIDS and I was dying of AIDS. Yeah, that's what your Wade Deaver did. Your precious Wade Deaver, me, a cancer survivor, took my photo from being emaciated after several rounds of radiation and 14 months trying to get diagnosed. And they tried to claim that that was because I was dying of AIDS. That's some pretty low down shit, don't you think there, Triple T? I mean, that's pretty crappy. Right? Oh, I guess you forgot all about that, didn't you? How we doing? Shout out to some people. What's up? Appreciate you tuning in. I mean, so there's that, right? I won't go too much further on that, but that is the company you keep, right? So these people, I want you to repeat to you again, Triple T, they got a hold of my medical records, my real medical records, and then altered them, taking the cancer part out and putting the AIDS part in, but leaving in like my social security number, my birth date, and all that. the person that got the medical records that worked at the hospital where I was hospitalized for a year lost their job. So a person lost their job over it and got sued big time. And then I had to put all my shit in lockdown because Crack Squad, Rusty Truck, and his whole little crew, Wade Deaver and his little crew, and Eismick and his little crew had my social security number and my birth date, and we're passing it around. That's the company you keep. So that might be why you're a hypocrite, but there's more.
That's strike 2 in my book.
Now, I was taking a motorcycle ride one day 2 years ago and doing a video riding my bike, and I go past the bus stop down here where the kids are all out with their mom waiting on the bus, and they're waving at me and they're pulling the horn honk thing, and I don't have no horn on my bike, so I just raised my hand up and waved at them and said, them kids over there. You, Triple T, you, Wade Deaver, Eismick Sheffett, and Rusty Truck claimed that I was the P word because I acknowledged and waved at the neighbor kids down here waiting on the bus. You did, Triple T, without ever speaking to me, without ever knowing me, without ever exchanging a word to me. You said I was the P word on a live stream that had about 1,500 people watching. You aren't in a position to be judgmental of anybody, buddy. And if you want to talk about somebody that keeps some sleazy ass company, you keep some sleazy ass company. Some of the worst degenerates I've ever seen on the internet. Some people that have no idea where the line is and frankly don't care because they have absolutely nothing to lose because they've done absolutely nothing with their life. But yeah, you're a hypocrite. Massive.
I'm not really getting into the beef and, Ryan, roommate at the time. But 2 years of rent free. No bills, no nothing. The bills you had were on you. You had a truck bought and paid for and you traded it in, got another truck, added the payment onto yourself. Maybe y'all had a deal where he'd pay that one off too. I don't know and I don't care. It's y'all's business. The other thing is the hardest worker, I haven't been around you to see you help us build any sets, work on any cars, clean up any trash. Like, I even had to clean up your trash after you left. And that took me forever. The closets were full of shit. I'm not getting into it, but I'm just throwing my 2 piece out there because it kind of made me mad about the hardest worker thing.
And here we have another hypocrite. Cousin Billy. Why is Cousin Billy a hypocrite, do you ask? Well, let's talk about Cousin Billy. Cousin Billy, who made a video showing us that Ryan bought him a side-by-side. Ryan bought him a Harley. Ryan bought him a truck. Ryan bought him a house. So Ryan's a good guy. I'll bet you there's people that would say that Charlie Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer were nice guys if they did all that for him. Yeah, I bet he is a nice guy in your book. Bet he is. Well, let me ask you something there, Billy. That's the second time I think I've heard you and Deerdorf when Ryan's calling you guys crying, wanting you to go online and defend him. And You guys talk about this hard work and making these sets. You guys made one video set in the last 2 years. One. And I could have made that in an afternoon by myself at 63 years old. I know I could have. I saw it. It was just absolute child's play. Very poor workmanship. Very easy stuff. Basic Carpenter 101 stuff that you should know by the 6th grade. And we're working on cars. Yeah, I bet. What is their car got to be fixed every day or something? I mean, it's shocking to me that I hear you and Ryan talking about Ripta's work ethic, but yet Ryan wanted Ripta to come back there because Ripta had such a great work ethic. So was Ryan lying then, or is he lying now? I don't think Ryan would have had Ripta living there rent-free with his wife and kid after asking him to come back if he never did anything and he never earned his keep. But one thing that's different between you, Cousin Billy, and Ripta, you have a house that was gave to you. You have a side-by-side that was gave to you. You have a Harley that was gave to you. You have a truck that was gave to you. All right? And I just want to know, how would you feel if you did all this so-called work for Ryan, which I just think is just bullshit. I just think everybody over there is just on the 24-hour party. That's about it. I mean, you guys can't even manage to put a gig together twice a year. A freaking simple gig. Man, when I did sound, I was doing 3 gigs a week, packing gear in and out of clubs. Just me, by myself. Big fucking PA system. It's fun. It's not hard work. It's actually fun to do that stuff. And I would have probably done it for free if the bands were good enough. It was never work to me. If you have a passion for that stuff, you love doing it. And I want to know if your attitude would be the same as if Ryan told you, oh, hey, Billy, thanks for building that set for me. Hey, can you run, 2 hours across town? Man, I know you was going to take your wife out to dinner tonight, man, but I'm out of the good stuff. So could you, like drive 2 hours and go get me some, hurry back here, man. Hey, I forgot my key, man. Could you drive 4 hours and go get it? Drive 4 hours back. Hey, man, can you build that set for me, man? I'll tell you what, dude. Tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to get you a side by side, Billy. We're going to get you one. And you're doing, right? You're doing upchurch work for upchurch, work all day at Ghost Ranch. That's all that goes on there is just work. Everybody working, right? And you're doing, and you're working, and you're working, and you're working. And then Ryan says, you know what? Along with that side by side, we're going to get you, Billy. We're going to get you a truck. And you're working, and you're doing, and you're doing, and you're working the Ghost Ranch, the ball and chain sweat gang at Ghost Ranch. It gets up at the crack of dawn. It's just hard at it all day, every day. Work. And then he says, yeah, man, all that work, hey, man, I know you was going take your wife out for her birthday tonight, but man, can you make this 4-hour run down there to get me, what I need, to be more creative, you know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, Billy, we're going to get you a house, dude. We're going to get you out of that field, out of that trailer, and we're going to get you on a house. And you're doing, but then none of those things happen. You never get the house. You never get the side by side. You never get the truck. You never get the Harley. All you see is Ripta getting that stuff and Deerdorf getting that stuff, and Beetlejuice getting that stuff, and strangers on the internet getting that stuff, and people that stop by and visit getting that stuff. But you're doing, and all you got was a cosign. Just wonder if your Ryan's the greatest guy I ever met would still hold up. Now, I'll spare you the best part of your hypocrisy there, cousin Billy. That's already been overpaid by about 10 years worth of labor or more. You couldn't even earn, if you worked for a living, like actually had a real job, you couldn't afford one single thing that Ryan's gave you. You would have a used minivan from a buy here, pay here lot. Because you'd be paying rent, and you'd be paying for a kid, wife, and you'd be out on your own $500,000. What is it? No, $250,000 bail. $250,000 bail. You think Ryan would have bailed Ripta out for $250,000? I mean, how dare you come on and try to like piss on the guy while claiming that you're not going to get into it? Because you're not convincing any of us that Ripta wasn't doing anything around there. I don't believe that for 10 fucking seconds. And nobody else does either. Now, that doesn't make it okay, some of the stuff that Ripta was doing, because if I had a young wife who just had a baby, and my boss, you know, that ghost ranch job, man, you know, sun up to sundown, work every day, told me to drive 4 hours to go buy some illegal substance and drive 4 hours back, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put my wife and our new baby at risk of being alone while I served a prison sentence for someone else's dope. See, that's not what a friend does. That's what a bitch does. A friend would say, no, Ryan, I'm not going to help you kill yourself. So that's out. No, I won't do that for you. That's what a friend would do. A bitch would run and get it. So Ripta's got that to carry forever. I mean, I got to say, reading those texts that you posted, Ripta, was disturbing. And it was disturbing for both of you. Knowing that both of you have a wife and both of you have a newborn baby. And shame on Ryan Upchurch if you made Ripta promises that you never kept, knowing that he would believe you and keep being your bitch. And shame on you, Ripta, for putting your wife and your child's life on hold while you chased the chance of getting some bling from your rich friend. The time you've lost building a work history, creating your own wealth for your own family, waiting on Ryan Upchurch to do it for you is pitiful. And shame on you for enabling his addiction. And just shocks me that you're surprised that, you know, he's using his camera and his YouTube channel and his fans as a weapon against you. Why does that even surprise you? Because he does that to everyone. that is who Ryan is. That's what Ryan does. That's who he is. I mean, I don't know what would have ever led you to believe that he wouldn't do that to you. I mean, he did it to his own mom and dad. I mean, he did it to somebody that was nothing but loyal and only had good things to say about him. Adam Calhoun. Every time Adam Calhoun spoke publicly about Ryan, he was saying something good and giving Ryan credit. And Ryan treated him like he was some drippy simp instead of a friend that was concerned, because he was saying some really weird stuff and doing some really weird stuff. You know, again, he didn't shave his eyebrows, but in comparison, that would have probably been way better. Shaving his eyebrows would have been way better than what we saw him do over the last 3 years. Like, tell his own fan base to fuck off. The very people that gave him the money to do what it is he does. When we all said, hey, dude, this is too much. We can't handle watching you slander a grieving family and slander your mom and slander your dad and slander all of the people that worked with you. We're just not down with that, man. We don't like that. We're not into all this. Fuck off then. Not, hey, thanks for making me wealthy beyond my dreams. Fuck off. So, is what it is. But these, these people right here, all hypocrites. Every daggone one of yous is a hypocrite. Don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, I couldn't, it blows my mind. You would say that crap about Johnny Gobble, Triple T, and completely leave out all the bullshit that Gotcha Man did to him and all the bullshit Wade Deaver did to people, including Johnny. Because the Wade Deaver YouTube channel was a piece of shit that went way over the line in real life, over the line, not just on YouTube over the line, but like in real life over the line many, many times, because simping for Ryan Upchurch. I mean, he didn't even have a valid reason to do it other than thinking that Ryan might give him an attaboy, or somebody in the Crack Squad cult might like him, or, the Rusty Truck channel might tell him he's great. So therefore he calls a lady's job that just happens to have the same name as my ex-wife and says a bunch of derogatory crap. I mean, whatever. Oh my, how we forget. So how's everybody doing tonight? That's enough of my riding their asses. I just had to call some of these fucking righteous sons of bitches down, man. It blows my mind to watch people, criticize others for what they do themselves. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, trying to tell another person who to like. That's so no, that's so lame, twisted. That's crazy, isn't it? Who was this, Austin? Austin says, yeah, they leaked her nude video of her diddling. What? Who was this? Yeah. It's like, no. It's like dealing with like kindergartners, man. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah. So you saw that too, yeah. I don't watch his stuff, but I did watch because of that. He was grabbing those. He was grabbing those stories from Ripta, and I wanted to see him, and so that was the reason I watched him. It popped up in my recommends because I think because I searched for that video a couple times, but I usually don't watch his stuff, and I was shocked that it came up in my recommends right then. And I think the reason why it did is because he had Dagburn in the title. In my last video, I had tagged Dagburn, but I'm going, what? That's sure the short version. You know, Johnny drove past Gotcha Man's dad's house. Big deal. Mild in comparison to what Gotcha Man did to him. Just mild in comparison. Pale. You know, unbelievable. And then to claim that Wade Deaver was a good, upstanding person. Oh my God, man. He literally he spent the last months of his life simping for Ryan Upchurch rather than making sure his wife's needs were met and maybe spending every minute with her and, you know, getting out of that, you know, doing things with her. He spent his last time online trolling people on YouTube and in real life on behalf of Ryan Upchurch. And he did not know where the line was. He went way over the line many, many times with Dagburn, with myself, and others. And that's just not cool, man. And, you know, he tried to make his wife lie and put her on the spot. Just all that because he thought Ryan would give him an attaboy. He was as sick with his upchurch derangement as Uncle Will is. You know, Uncle Will is brain is infected because he thinks Ryan's going to give him something. And when you're the type of guy that thinks the money you can make from selling a used tire is good money, like that's where the real money is, selling a used tire. When that's your mentality, the idea that some rich dude might give you a couple $100, you'll sell your integrity out for a second. You know, I mean, and that was Wade Deaver, just like Uncle Will, just absolutely no self-respect, no integrity, no moral foundation, just simp. It's a sad thing to witness. And I don't think I saw any of that. Oh my goodness. Oh, you wouldn't have done anything, man. Your mom's boyfriend you'd have probably been grounded to your room. You'd have probably been grounded to your room by your mom's 17th live-in boyfriend for not clearing the dirty dishes out from under your bed, Joe. So you wouldn't have been able to do anything if Johnny came to the porch, other than go, "Who was that? Stepdad?" He'd be like, "Shut up, get back to your room before I take my belt off." And you just went right back in the room, cleaning, digging them dirty dishes out from under the bed, sticky socks and stuff. Well, easy for you to say he didn't do any of that shit to you. So it's really easy to say. Well, I'm still dealing with the shit he did. So no, I'm not going to, I don't let a dead man be. He's got karma chasing him in death because, yeah, he did some pretty shitty stuff. Like real life stuff that affects people, like truly affects people because they criticized Ryan Upchurch. Not because they did something to him, but because they criticized Ryan Upchurch and their criticism was true. Yeah, like where would I don't believe this. That's one of the things you can't believe it till you see it, and you don't ever want to see it. Oh man, but who was it? I thought you guys was talking about Patty. I agree. Oh, yeah. I mean, the only thing I think, the only thing Johnny did wrong that day was not go to where the gotcha man works and try to cause trouble for him there, and then go to the convenience store that gotcha man goes to every morning and go in there and try to cause trouble for him there, and then find out where the gotcha man bought his vehicle and go there and try to cause trouble for him there, and then pay somebody to key his car and then go home. In addition to riding by his dad's house. Then they might have been like almost like Dagburn would have been like 1/8 the way even with the gotcha man. It might have been, almost starting to look like a fair, even exchange of awesomeness there, right? I mean, that's what you could have done different. You guys. I'm trying to find out. Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah. Well, don't put that stuff online and you never had to worry about that happening. I thought you guys were saying they were patties. I was like, oh my gosh. What would I be in court for? I'm not going to court. Listen, like, imagine being as ignorant as this fool here. You got it backwards there. Okay. When you stare into a bright light, your pupils will get really, really small. Okay. Not really, really big. You simpleton. Now, go look at your cult leader's pupils while you can see his pupils are as big as his entire retina, and you can actually see the reflection of the ring light in his pupil. It's so big. And yet you make a comment that mine are pinned, but I've not seen you make a single comment about your cult leader's pupils being blown completely out while he's got a bright light shining in his face. If he got pulled over driving like that, it'd be an automatic DUI, instant, because cop would take his flashlight and try to get his pupils to dilate, and they wouldn't. They'd just stay that way. I mean, and then you see where Ripta shows a picture where he's got several boxes of bootleg Adderall and stuff you're not supposed to have. You know, that's a doctor's prescription. That's something you don't go and buy that on the street. And if you do, it's a crime. They go to jail for it. Controlled substance. You know, somebody might take a guy like this, these guys wonder why nobody ever takes them serious, Appreciate you, TL. Thank you very much, man. TL says, respect, dude. Been here from the start. Glad you're healthy and standing on the truth all around. Yep. I mean, it's easy to do. It's so easy. I mean, there's no shame in the truth, man. Watching these flip-floppers and freaking, see, the one thing that Crack Squad can't seem to understand about Johnny is Johnny's a troll. Man. And he trolls them. He knows what triggers them. And they try to apply some moral higher ground, and they can't, because Crack Squad is just responsible for some of the worst behavior seen. And they've been wrong and grossly exaggerated so many times that nobody believes them anymore. And they don't understand that Johnny's not flip-flopping. He's just trolling you dumbasses because he knows you'll react to it. And give him every view he needs to get a nice check from YouTube. I mean, and God bless him, I can't believe you guys try to fault the guy for making money on YouTube. Doing more than you're doing. You're sitting around doing nothing. At least he'd edit a video and upload it. Multiple choice ventilators. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's up with this guy. I think I'm going to court. These people are so stupid. They think I have a lawsuit when I got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm just glad to see it happen. Got subpoenaed and lied under oath. What? What? You have no idea what I would have said under oath. Dumbass. I got subpoenaed to agree to a deposition for the defense, you simpleton. And it didn't go well for Upchurch. Let me tell you, it didn't go well for him at all. He looked like a dumbass. He looked just as stupid in court as he looked in that video. Kylie Rodney is not real. Her parents ain't real. Her dad ain't real. Her grandpa ain't real. The police ain't real. The police station ain't real. There's a fake girl named Kylie Ross. It's like a body double, and they're all in on this GoFundMe thing, a scam me, and they scuba dive down to the car and put the car back in the water after the cops searched the lake, and then the girl was fake, and it's just no. Yeah, he looked dumber in court because that stuff, when that stuff's being said in a courtroom, in a courtroom environment where you can hear a pin drop and everything's real sterile, and here's this video being played of Ryan saying Kylie Rodney is not real. Her father is not real. Her mother is not real. I mean, he looked like an unmitigated fool. There's, from what I understand, jury selection for the Rodney suit is in June, is when they'll select the jury. And then I think depending on how fast they select the jury, that's when the court trials start. And I would assume that he'll try to get them to settle out the way he did Ickadmel. I mean, and for all you crack squad that think you know everything, but you're either unable or too lazy to actually go look at the court docket, it's public record. You know, he didn't win anything. Ryan didn't win anything. He literally paid one person to drop their suit, and they took the money. I don't blame him. I would have done the same damn thing. Make him pay, you know. At least it cost him some serious money and a big hit to his reputation, calling an innocent person a trafficker of little people. That's just a ridiculous thing to say about someone from your 3,000 subscriber YouTube channel being a celebrity. That's just so irresponsible. Just a hell of a thing to say about someone that you don't even know. I mean, you do that, you deserve to get sued. He didn't go in his dad's house. Jesus Christ, man. You guys, this is what I mean. You have no credibility. I hear you, Twisted. You're 100% right. You know, he didn't go in his house. He literally, the video's still up, I think. Not even close to anything like that. But yeah, they did a bunch of crap. I forgot all about that, Twisted. I forgot all about them going to Dagburn's mom's grave. Yeah, there you go, Triple T. There's another one. You know, Wade Deaver and them, that whole little clique. Yeah, they, Gotcha Man and them, they was all in on that deal where they went to Dagburn's mom's grave. Long before Dagburn drove past his dad's house. In retaliation, in response. I hear you. I got a video about Jeremy coming up real soon. You know, I have a video of him just before he got like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He had about 80,000 subscribers. And I went to, we're talking about Jeremy Hales from What the Hell's YouTube channel. He's a Upchurch 2.0. Okay. He's made some money. You know, he had no money, and now he's got money, and it's went to his head. He thinks he's better than everybody now. He thinks he's the world's greatest storage unit buyer. And everybody he's worked with, everyone he's worked with every other YouTube channel that does storage unit content, and now has a beef with every single one of those channels. Just like Upchurch has a beef with every single person he ever worked with. Well, this guy, same thing. Okay. And a couple of the people he's got beefs with, I know personally, and they're great people. Okay. He's relentlessly trolling his poor elderly neighbors who have an adopted child and making their life a living hell because he has a fan base that is blindly loyal, the same as Upchurch does. And they actually think this idiot's a Christian, even though his own son at 16 or 17 uploaded a video saying, I was abused from the time I was about 7 years old by my dad. I grew up petrified of him because of A, B, C, and D. And he lost all rights, all visitation rights, and all parental rights because he locked me and my sister in a house alone all day, in an empty house that wasn't being lived in. And he would lock them in there all day when they were little. Anyway, I got a video of him. I bought a unit at an auction, and we went in there late one day to empty it out. Me and my wife and my middle son. And when I was going up the aisle, I seen his truck and trailer down the aisle because he was, at that time, everything he drove had YouTube plastered all over it. His trailer, his truck, YouTube, what the hell's, all stickers all over it. So it stuck out like a sore thumb. And I thought, oh, hey, there he is, you know. So we pull around the corner where our unit is. And we open it up, and I got the trailer open. We're starting to load some stuff. And I was walking with my dog to let my dog find a place to take a whiz. And when I come around the corner and I see him carrying boxes into the storage unit. He's not taking boxes out. He's carrying boxes in. And so at that time, I had a Sony Handycam that had a 40 times zoom on it. And I put it on this little tripod, set it on the hood of my truck, and zoomed it down that aisle. And you can clearly see him carrying these boxes in. And you can see the boxes and what the boxes say on them, the type of label, logo that's on the box. The next video he uploads to YouTube is him unboxing those boxes he carried in, making the audience believe those things were in the storage unit he bought to make the video more sensational. And I think it was a bunch of Pokemon cards he claimed was in one, and like, I think it was like maybe antique toys or something. But when you started seeing him do these videos where every single storage unit was just a hit, you know, that's when you know the bullshit's flying, because I was buying those before people were even making YouTube videos about it. I mean, there were nobody putting YouTube videos, making YouTube videos, unboxing storage units that they had bought at auction. There were no videos like that on YouTube when my wife and I were doing it. And I uploaded some, and they got a lot of traction. Like, I got a lot of views on those videos, and that channel I had like 11,000 subscribers in like no time on that channel. And but as I got older and older, I started buying less and less storage units because it's hard work, man, moving that stuff and unloading it and packing it and trying to sell it and all that. And by the time people started making money on YouTube, I was sort of getting tired of buying that many and only buying 2 or 3 a year. And we thought YouTube was getting commercialized with all this commercialization, and a bunch of us deleted our channels in protest. And I deleted that daggone channel. I shouldn't have. I should have kept it around because you couldn't monetize them back then. I mean, I didn't know we would ever end up something you could make money off of. But yeah, I had some videos up doing that before you could monetize videos. And it's hit or miss. When you buy those storage units, yes, you're going to make your money back almost every time for sure. It's hard to lose. In fact, I've never lost really. You're always going to make back some of what you paid, as long as you're not getting up in the crazy price ranges. Granted, I've never bought any really, really high dollar storage units. I will pay up if there's if I see antique electronics in there or audio equipment or anything or band equipment, I'll pay up for it. But the chances of every unit you buy just being loaded with all kinds of, expensive stuff is slim to none. You're going to have a couple good ones and you're going to have a dud or two. And what the hell's had gotten to the point where every single storage unit was just, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that. And you knew it was bullshit. And so I wasn't shocked when I seen him carrying boxes in. That's why I recorded it though. And I still have that video clip. Also, he used to date a girl named Holly that had a young child. And we were leaving a auction in Blacklick, Ohio. And he was there with her. And he was screaming and yelling at her. The kid was in the passenger, right rear passenger seat. And Jeremy was screaming and yelling at her, had the kid crying, had that Holly girl crying. And as we were pulling out, and the crap he was saying to her was like threatening in nature. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I got a video coming, update on what the hell's there. He's losing his ass in court, lying to his fans, pretending like he's winning, and he's not. He's yet to win a court case. He constantly talking about suing people and threatening people. He's never won a court case. I can't wait till somebody countersues him and he loses his ass. Oh, no. The Ohio Amish? Oh, man. If you go up to Joe, Sugar Creek area, like Millersburg, Sugar Creek, Berlin, Ohio. There's another one there. What's it called? I can't think of the other one, but that whole area right through there, awesome, man. Yeah, those are authentic, very authentic. Family farms, family products. This the real deal. There's Amish as you can get. I would stay away from the so-called Amish stuff in town. But when you're out in the county and you see an Amish hardware store or an Amish thrift store, Those are the best things to go to. I don't know how many people are into going to thrift stores, but there is no thrift store as good as an Amish thrift store. Oh my God, man. Stuff you find in there, unbelievable. The stuff that gets donated to those, I mean, you'll find a lot of work boots that are brand new, never been worn, heavily discounted, and everything's name brand. You know, there's several Amish thrift stores through Millersburg, Berlin, Sugar Creek. Man, I wish I could remember the name of that other town. Wilmot. The other town's called Wilmot. That whole area. Yeah, you drive around through there. There's a buffet, all legit, homemade Amish food on that buffet. Best fried chicken I ever ate in my life. You think, you know, once you had good chicken, you've had it all. Nah. I've never had fried chicken that good. Hey, Stinky Pinky. It was boxes of Adderall, not boxes of asthma medicine. And it has to be a prescription from a doctor. You're not allowed to just buy that shit on the street, you simpleton. I feel sorry for people as dumb as you. We were talking about Crack Squad in general. They were all doing that shit together, all encouraging each other, all supporting each other, doing shit that was way over the fucking top. All of them. Johnny's not Crack Squad. Johnny's never been Crack Squad. Matt, look at this guy. Poor guy. I try to wrap my mind around being what it would be like to be in my mid-30s, not have a pot to piss in, working a dead-end job as a fast food cook, and living in someone's basement. And then having the nerve to shoot my mouth off to other people. I try to figure out how you get to be that person. Just saying. He was buying Adderall and the stupid pens on the black market. He said it literally in his video. Then he showed a picture of it. Yes, he wasn't talking about just asthma medication. I don't have to take a pill to be creative. I don't have to take a pill to be relaxed. You don't drive to go see your guy for asthma medicine. You don't drive 4 hours to go see your guy for asthma medicine, kids. Stop it. Quit being so dumb. Come on, man. Where do you go buy asthma medicine on the street at night, 4 hours away? And if it's legit asthma medicine, why would you have to drive anywhere to get it? Why wouldn't you just call the local drugstore? Whew. Come on, man. Get a grip. God gave you a brain, like, so you could, like, do like multiplication in your head and add things up and sort things out for yourself. Okay. We don't drive for 4 hours to go see a guy that we owe $600 to because he fronted us $300 worth of asthma medicine. Right? And if there's any attempt to minimize it down to that, you're just being willfully ignorant. You're just being willfully ignorant. You see the enlarged pupils, you see the odd behavior, you see the opiate rage, you see all of this. And then in addition to that, you got somebody telling you, yeah, he made me drive to go get this shit. Well, no, I can't say made, asked me, wanted me, expected me, whatever. No, that's not how you get asthma medicine. When you need asthma medicine, you call your doctor. And he calls the pharmacy. And you go to the pharmacy and you get it. You don't drive nowhere. You don't go see a guy about asthma medicine. Yes. I know, Max. It's you can't. These people, Max Fisher says, why would you have to cross state lines for asthma? What, you wouldn't have to go anywhere for asthma medication. And if Ripta tries to reduce it down, he's just fucking lying. He's just lying. There would be no need to buy asthma medicine on the black market. You call your doctor and you go to the drugstore and you pick it up. But Adderall is controlled, and if you want a bunch of it, you're going to have to buy it on the street. And that is exactly what he was talking about. It was exactly what he was referring to. And any notion otherwise, again, is grounded in just pure, unbridled, willful ignorance. And I got to tell you something, Triple T, or just make a statement. Man, your reading comprehension skills are pretty bad, dude. That was brutal sitting through you reading all those text messages. I don't know what's going on there. Do you need glasses or what? But we've got an autistic 9-year-old here right now that can read way better than me. I'm just saying. That was really tough. Oh, I'm sure he will, but it is the truth. It is the truth. When I was his age, and I'm not saying this, I think I was underperforming because I've got friends that did way better. But when I was his age, I was paying for a house. I had a new car. I was working 2 jobs, raising 4 kids. I mean, I don't know. I mean, by the time you're that age, you should have your shit together. Really. Or at least have something going. So the thing of it is, it doesn't matter. Right. Right. There you go. Dagburn. There you go. There you go. I mean, he made this whole video about, he still owes his dude $600 because he got fronted. And, I got to tell you, man, when You know, Ripta, you're too old to be playing that game, messing around like that with a wife and a baby. Because when the cops pull you over, you're not going to be able to say, oh man, it's all good. I was getting that for upchurch. No. You're the one going to jail. And when you get drugs fronted to you, they're fronted to you. They didn't front that to upchurch. They didn't front that to anybody but Ripta. And so you owe the 600. And if you trusted Ryan, that's, you know, if Ryan gave you a reason to trust him, then yeah, it's on him. You know, I mean, and we know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. We've seen his pupils dilated fully for 3 years. We've seen the weirdness. We've heard his voice go geeker. We've seen his creativity go to nothing. Motivation, organization, comprehension skills, video editing, comedy, personality, wittiness, all gone, all reduced greatly. Yeah, we've seen this. And no, Crack Squad, it's got nothing to do with asthma medicine and everything to do with drug abuse. Are they $10 a piece? So yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, ain't no doubt. I mean, when you've got a pupil that's fully dilated and you can see the reflection of an LED ring light in the pupil, that's a problem. There's something going on there. They're artificially dilated. You know. Good for you, man. Good for you. You'll be popping one of them when you're 50 and wondering who will drive you to town because you got no car to drive. They're addicting. There you go. You don't have any idea what Johnny and his wife do. You don't have even the slightest clue. Just saying. I mean, there you go. There's his own dad. Yeah, he's got a doctor for the asthma. Hey, doc, I'm out of asthma medicine. Go straight to the drugstore and get it. I mean, I want to know, how do this many low IQ people end up like being blind loyalist fans for the same person? It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. But Crack Squad, I want you to know, you guys are some of the just most dense people I've ever ran across. You refuse to believe things that you could literally Google and see for yourself, but you just rather assume and be wrong. You ask questions that you could just type into Google and instantly have an answer. And to think that Ripta would have to drive 4 hours to see a dude and go away fronted and owing 600 for asthma medicine is just retarded. I'm sorry, it's retarded. It's like you just quit shitting your pants yesterday. You're so damn dumb. I hate to be so mean, but goddamn. How are you guys this stupid? Well, that's obvious. I mean, I lost all respect for him when he pulled that shit with, Crack Squad. Like I said, Crack Squad they're just filthy human beings, right? They're just low down filth. And so every single buddy that's ever criticized Upchurch, they end up calling the P word. Every person that's ever questioned anything or had a difference of opinion, they end up calling them the P word. And when I seen Triple T engage in that shit, where he's calling someone he doesn't even know that because they waved at some kids, literally neighbor kids that were waving, I thought, man, this guy is just as low IQ as the rest of them. I thought, man, he must live in a trailer park. That's literally the opinion I have. I thought, he must live in a trailer park. Because, and not to knock people living in trailer park, I'm just saying, it just blows my mind that every single one of these people that have criticized me, they end up living in a trailer park with their mom. It's just been so consistent. It's mind blowing. You had that stupid ass Seeper talking shit on the internet, telling people he owned all these nightclubs. Son of a bitch lives in a rented trailer. You had, he's telling people he owned all these nightclubs and had all this money and shit, and some bitch driving a buy her, pay her van, lives in a trailer park. You literally couldn't even sue the guy because he's got nothing to take. I mean, Uncle Will has more worldly assets than Seeper does. And Uncle Will lives in a camper someone gave him that has no plumbing. He has to shit and piss in a bucket. Oh, yeah, that guy's pedo. Yeah. Jeez. Well, how dare Johnny do that to Gotcha Man? Now, all the stuff Gotcha Man did to Johnny, that don't count. It's only what Johnny did in response to that counts. God, a tree in the rain. There's old red-eyed patriot. Paintsville Prison Blues 3.0 on the way. There's old Honey Badger. Yeah. Hey, I'm not going to knock somebody that's at least, I've always felt like, I'll tell you this, my son that fought addiction, he did the Suboxone thing. And in my opinion, you're trading the measles for the mumps. The only difference is with Suboxone, you're not feeding into the criminal empire that surrounds street drugs. So there's that, right? And you're doing it legal. So You're not out stealing, trying to support your habit. So it's all good. But the problem is, it's just as hard to get weaned off the Suboxone as it is the actual stuff, so I'm told. And I know with my son, he kept relapsing until he just declined the Suboxone. I told him, like the third time around, I told him he was out stealing again to support his habit. He got sent back to prison on a parole violation. And I told him that when you get out this time, if you go on the Suboxone program, I'm not helping you, because I think you need to just stop it all cold turkey. And so he did that. He stopped it all cold turkey, and he had a rough time, but that's been years ago now. He just bought a house, married, got a new baby. He's got a real good job working for a Saudi Arabian guy that owns a medical transport company that transports people to doctor's appointments that can't drive themselves. And so all I can say is when he finally just stopped it all, Suboxone and everything, he finally got totally clean. And his head was right too. He made better decisions. So that's all I know about it. I don't know that much more about it, but yeah, there you go, Mr. Ohio. That's the way, man. It worked for my son to just not do the Suboxone. He tried it 3 times. And with the Suboxone, all the demons, they were wanting to buy his Suboxone. And he got back in that game and got back around them people. And next thing you know, he's out of Suboxone and he's buying the street stuff, and right back right back in jail he went. And, but yeah, he's doing real good now. He's been sober for quite a while and doing really well. I thank God I never got addicted to nothing. I never had much of a taste for alcohol. And I just was really always was scared of getting addicted. So I was always, even when I was a teenager and was partying a little bit, I was scared to take any kind of thing that was addictive. I just stayed away from it. For that reason, I've seen too many people get taken down. I didn't want to be one of them. So I just stayed away from it. I don't know. I haven't listened to that guy in a long time, but whatever he decides to do, he'll contradict himself an hour later. So it won't matter. I mean, he's the type of guy that'll tell you his favorite color is blue, and 2 hours later, he'll tell you he can't stand the color blue. I don't know. I think we counted like 4 blatant contradictions in the same live stream once. And that's why I just quit taking him serious at all. He just turns on his mic and yakks for attention. You can't believe anything he says. You can't take anything he says serious. He just don't. There's no substance to the guy at all. He's got no. There you go, Johnny. Good for you, dude. That's right. You guys can say all you want. Johnny's taking shit prescribed by a doctor. And I don't see his life spiraling out of control. Having beefs with everybody. Yeah, they will. Yeah. I had a lot of friends, Honey Badger, a lot of friends. That's probably what saved me because I didn't want to be like that. Dude, I had this guy that worked for me. Okay. Great, big, handsome dude. All right. My ex-wife and my current wife both said, "Oh my God, he's handsome." You know, that's what they said about this dude, right? And I seen a lot of women say that about him. 6 foot tall, dark complected, you know, muscular looking dude, and had the whole world in front of him. His parents, they weren't well to do, but they left him a house and a rental property. His parents were a lot older. And so both of his parents had passed away by the time he was 30. But they left him a house and a rental property. And when I was doing sound for rock bands on the weekends, he was one of my roadies. I had hired him as a roadie. And I also had him as security, and I also had him as he worked in my detail shop. But when I worked full time as a mechanic during the day, and I had a building I rented where we detailed cars and did window tint, running boards, sunroofs, shit like that. And he was one of the guys I employed full time there. So he worked for me 2 different times over the years. And I watched him get on that crap, right? And I finally had to break ties with him. And I was at work one day, and by this time I had become a service manager, actually a roving manager for one of the largest car shop chains in the country. And I was way up in North Columbus, Ohio, running one of the stores. And this dude comes up to the counter and he's talking to me like he knows me. And I'm like not recognizing. And then it finally dawned on me it was him. Man, he had lost like 60, 70 pounds of weight. He used to have like real, like big hair, like long curly hair, rock star hair, you know? And his hair was like flat to his head and greasy and stringy, and he hadn't shaved, and he was real skinny and looking down. And I thought, man, is that you, dude? And he said, yeah. I said, oh my God, dude, what happened? I thought he had cancer or something. He goes, what do you mean? I thought, wow, he doesn't know he looks bad, you know? And yeah, I think last I heard, he's in prison now. And he lost everything. He borrowed money against the house, didn't make the payments, it got repoed. I don't know if he still has that little rental house or not, but somebody told me that he was in jail, or prison rather. You know, it's nothing to mess with. And that's what's so frustrating, because those guys around upchurch know there's an issue. You can't take that shit every day for 2-3 years and not be addicted to it. I'm sorry, but you just can't. You're addicted. And for the people around him not to be pressuring him to get off that, it's just crazy to me. I'd be telling my friend every day, man, hey dude, this stuff's fucking with you, man. You sure you're okay? I mean, I'd be having them conversations a lot. And literally trying to convince him to stop. And it just shocks me that you would jump in the car and go get him some and call yourself his friend. Fuck. You're not his friend. You're his simp. And I hate that, dude. That video made you both look bad, Ripta. Made you both look bad. And the one thing I will say for upchurch, and it may or may not be true, I don't know, but is what I read in those text messages was that conversation started out with him telling you, yeah, you can have that stuff, just come and get it, and I'll even help you haul it. But I guess you're saying he never followed up. And listen, dude, Ripta, I know he gave Billy shit. I know he gave Deardorff shit. And that's probably, you know, you look at that and think, you know, golly, why them, not me? But asking your friend to co-sign, and he does. That's pretty cool, man. That's a cool thing for a friend. That's a good thing for a friend to do. I never had anybody that would co-sign for me. And to then not make the payments and let it fall back on him. But to expect him to pay it off and let you take it with you, or him just keep making the payments and you take it with you, damn, Ripta, that's a big ask. Them son of a bitches cost like 30 grand. Like 27,000 to 30,000 for one of them side-by-sides. And that's a big ask, man. Holy shit, dude. And I mean, if you agreed to work for him for whatever you were getting paid, that's on you. But to be mad because you didn't get a gift at that level is a little being a bit of a bitch, in my opinion. Because the cosign was a pretty good favor. The catching the payments up so it doesn't get repoed was a pretty good favor. So for you to just leave him stuck with it and just say, well, I'm just leaving it, you can deal with it. Well, now he's got to pay for it, right? He can't just take it back. He can't just give it back. He's got to pay for it now. So I don't know. That's kind of messed up, dude. That's all I got to say. Anyway, and the bike, he told you could take it. And if that's all it needed was some forks fixed, I'd have had that fixed in like a week. Like 1 week from that wreck happening, that would have been fixed. When I was your age, yeah, I'd have tore that apart in a heartbeat and fixed it. I'd had it scattered across the yard in 100 pieces if that's what it took. Of course, I was always a poor country boy. It never had nothing give to me. I would have shit myself. Absolutely cataclysmically shit my pants if one of my friends bought me a brand new motorcycle. I wouldn't have known how to act. And if I'd have wrecked it, I'd have fixed the fucking thing. You can believe it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Huh. I don't know, dude. I can't imagine there being all this stuff to do. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why a perfectly healthy 30-something needs 4 or 5 people to help him function daily. I'm trying to figure that out. Why do all these other guys not need all this? You know, that's one of the other things. That's one of the other downsides to addiction is everything starts to become too hard to do. You have no patience. You have no finesse. Everything's a hassle. Everything's too hard. You try to delegate everything. And you just miss out on life, you know. Like 10 years will go by and you don't even remember what you did. You actually think that those weren't text messages between Ryan and Ripta? Oh, God help. God help you. A serious question. Okay. I'm serious. What was his? She says, no one can prove that that was Ryan on this text message. Okay. Listen. You're smarter than this, and I know that you are. Now, you've listened to Ryan responding to it, right? You've listened to Ryan explaining these things that are in those text messages. I mean, I know that you heard him explaining it. So why would Ryan be explaining if it wasn't him? And do you know how absolutely difficult it would be to backdate and edit and create those text messages to look like a real timeline of text messages with timestamps from almost a year ago? You know how difficult that would be? I mean, you would have to put hours upon hours upon hours into that. If maybe even then. And if he put those text messages up there and Ryan didn't try to explain any of it away, then I guess, but we know a lot of that stuff Ryan's already admitted to. The text message just confirmed some of the things that Ryan said. You've got to be rational, was his. You have to be rational. And what rational means is you weigh the circumstances. Okay? No rational person, was his. Not one rational person thinks that those texts weren't Ryan. No one. And Ryan has never said that's not me. In fact, Ryan has explained away what was in those text messages and even repeated some of the things that were in those text messages in his videos. And then there's the actual physical events to solidify the timeline. So if you think that that's not Ryan, you're just being willfully ignorant. In other words, you're just choosing to ignore reality because reality doesn't suit what you want it to suit. So you're going to just ignore reality, ignore facts, ignore what you see, and pretend as though it's something else. Of course, that's Ryan. Man, those text messages reflected real hurt feelings between two friends. That's what they reflected. And they reflected a close relationship between two dudes that was a little on the icky side. But there's no way you can apply any level of rational common sense and come away thinking that those text messages were fake. That's just being silly. You're just being silly. Of course they're real. Of course they are. And very real is the sad part. You know, far too real. Nobody cares, Martin. No one cares. If I were you, instead of going live, I would check the job listings, see if there's any apprenticeship jobs out there for a 30-something dude that pays better than flipping burgers. Then again, I'm not you. Listen, sweet blonde, okay? Did you listen to the last album, Turbulence? I wish it was too, but I can tell you right now it's not going to be. Because Turbulence was terrible. And I mean just absolutely terrible. There isn't one song on that album that's even memorable. Not a single hook. There's not a single jingle. No earwigs. Nothing. In fact, you listen to a song and you don't even remember what it was about. And I suspect Creeker 3, if he's telling you it's going to be released this time next month, won't be any better because he's still addicted. He's still on the pills. He's still got geeker voice. He's still in this creative rut where he's just keeps trying to repeat the same. He keeps trying to record the same song in a different way over and over and over again. I mean, you can only sing about being a poor kid from the sticks so many fucking times until you got to start singing about something else. I don't even care. Oh God, man. I wish you, VA girl, I wish you had the IQ that is required to understand how that number 3 thing doesn't mean anything on that fucking, on that goddamn online billboard SoundCloud shit. It doesn't mean anything. Okay? It doesn't mean anything. If you're the only person, you see, they base it on the amount of downloads, okay, or the amount of plays, right? People don't download the same album 2 or 3 or 4 fucking times, right? They only download it once. So if you're the only one that's released a new album, then your new album is the only one being downloaded. Because everyone else already released theirs and it's already been downloaded. So if we count the amount of downloads this week of you compared to other people in your genre, if you're the only one that released something new, you're going to have the highest amount of downloads. Now, I know that's probably way over your head. You're never going to understand it. But I want you to know that it flopped so hard that even Ryan was pissing and whining and blaming. He tried to blame Adam Calhoun and Jelly Roll for his album flopping. Turbulence flopped, dear, like big time flopped. There's not one song on that album that is even memorable, like I said, or anything you'd bob your head to or remember a line to or find yourself bumping down the road to. There just isn't. And when you compare it, when you compare that to things he's done in the past, it's subpar. Secondly, there's not a single fucking video. No single, no video. How does an album perform well when there's no single, no video? No, it doesn't. So you can take the little fake number 3 thing because it got downloaded more than all the other albums that are months old and pretend that that means something all you want. But I can guarantee you Ryan ain't made a dime off that damn album. He ain't made shit off of that thing, and he isn't going to. And that's why he's going to try to release this Creeker 3, because the money tree, the blossoms on the money tree keep getting smaller. So not as much money fruit's falling off. Yeah, it didn't drop, it crashed. You mean Turbulence crashed a couple months ago. And Creeker 3 is supposed to be next month. And like I said, he's not done anything about his addiction. He's not done anything about, the having to take Adderall to even fucking stand in front of a microphone for 5 minutes. And all the chaos and the bullshit and all that and the geeker voice. And if he's not done anything about any of that, nobody around there's learned to use a mixer. Nobody around there's learned to the difference between a muddy fucking canned beat and an actual drum set. If none of that's been addressed, then it won't be any better than Turbulence. And you can mark my word on that. And it's a shame because, man, the first one was badass. I loved that album. I thought that was I played the hell out of that thing. And a lot of people did. Nope. And these people keep thinking he is. Yeah. I'd like to see somebody tell me what song on Turbulence would make it number 3 against anything. New Buck wouldn't even know what Apache was. To run Apache, you got to be either running a Slackbox or, Ubuntu or a Linux. Apache runs on top of Linux. Apache is web server software. And New Buck wouldn't even know how to install it, let alone configure it. If I told him, if I put him in a room with a computer and a copy of Apache on a thumb drive and told him you can come out when you get that installed, he'd die of old age in there. Yeah, it did. It slammed into the ground. Look, I can't believe these guys act like 12-year-olds. How many sock accounts do you make to make a juvenile comment? That's a better question. I mean, I love it. These single guys, these guys that have no woman, talking to all these married men about taking it in the butt and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have a wife. I can, when I want to have sex. What do you do? Jack off to gay porn? Because you have no woman, and you certainly wouldn't be able to go nowhere and pick one up because you don't even have the gas money. You know, these people blow my mind. Not you, dude, but last dumbass. Butcher Ben, yeah. A lot of people agree with that, Butcher. I mean, that thing was bad. Well, backwoods, there's a big difference. Okay. I guess server is a broad term. Okay. When I say server, what I mean is a LAMP server, an INET server. Okay. And no, you wouldn't just get in a computer and do it. Okay. And an INET server's LAMP, that's Linux, Apache, MySQL, and ProFTP. Okay. Those used to be the main thing that the internet ran on. There were more personal, or I would say private owned Apache servers running on the internet in the late 90s and early 2000s than you can imagine. I mean, they were just everywhere. Apache's an open source web server platform that became the standard. And a lot of people ran those lamps either on top of Ubuntu or they ran it on Slackware. And Slackware is very difficult to learn, but once you learn it, it's the most powerful software made. There's no software that can come close. Slackware has no limitations. And every single software developer worth his salt contributes to that platform, making it better and better and better all the time. And if there's something that you would like a computer to do, there is a Slackware plugin that will do it. From counting beans in a department store to testing every phone line in the world to, I don't care what you think, you imagine it, and somebody's wrote a program that'll run on Slackware to do it, and it's all open source. And I guess the advantage, a lot of guys my age have an advantage with that, for the simple reason that when I got a computer and wanted to play Doom 2 with my friends, okay, you understand there was no Windows. Windows had not been developed yet. All you had were command line DOS boxes and command line Linux and Slackware. You know, the first computer I had was a 38640 that all it had was DOS. And we played Doom and Doom 2 on those machines like crazy. And we had to write our own programs to connect 16 phone lines and do BBS doors and all that. And so we learned it out of necessity, right? When I built my first computer, okay, you had to put jumper pins on the motherboard to set the IRQs, and jumper pins on the modem board to set the modem port, and jumper pins on the video card to set the resolution for the native resolution for the monitor. And you know, a meg of RAM was $100 for 1 meg of RAM, 1 meg of RAM. And you know, there were no computer stores. There was no place to go to buy computer parts. they would have these computer fairs where all these parts vendors would come around and sell parts at like a fairgrounds or a convention hall. And you would find out about these on the BBSs that were out there. So you could go and get parts and build you a computer. And every computer I've ever owned, I've built myself. I've never bought a pre-configured computer until 2 years ago. I bought 2 Meta PCs from Meta PC, 2 Core i9 Asus gaming machines. And they turned out to be really nice computers. Meta PC, very well built, very nice machines. But I just built me a new one. And then I have a quad processor, Xeon, that I run MSXI on and do just virtual, like my daily computer that I surf the net on and email and all that. Okay. It's just a virtual desktop running on top of, a quad processor Xeon, and I use KVM over IP and to do it. But I just built me a real nice gaming machine. I mean, a real nice one, more so for video editing. My other one was getting a little laggy, so this one I built. Like, I produced a video just before I started this live that probably would have taken 3-4 minutes on my Meta PC that I bought, and this was like 30 seconds. So yeah, it's a very nice machine. But Apache runs on Linux. So no, New Buck isn't running Apache unless he's running a Linux box. So there's that. Okay, Apache is a Linux, more so native to Slackware or Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a hot rod version of Slackware that's more click or more how I want to put it, user friendly. It's got it's got a desktop like Windows. Okay, where Slackware or Ubuntu server doesn't. There's no desktop. It's all command line. But runs the best. Like if you want to serve up a website, if you want to run your own game servers, if you want to run your own Discord server, if you want to run your own FTP, music streamer, virtual private network, there'd be no better choice than Slackware and Apache and a MySQL database server. Just would be a hot rod. It would work well. It would be very stable. And that's the platform of choice. Yeah. Oh, okay. You're talking about one of those. There was Pioneer made. Can't remember. No, I have seen them Kenwood too, but Pioneer had a pod that would hold 200 CDs, and then it had a SCSI cable that went to the actual head unit. Yeah, it's my email is the same as I've got one of the Pioneer ones, but I don't think it's 200 CD. Might be, but I don't think. I have to look. I can't remember how many it is. But it's the same. My email's the same as the YouTube channel. It's just spelled exactly the same at gmail.com. So it's psychobabblerap with 2 P's at gmail.com. And now I don't check that email every day. I check it about every 3 or 4 days. But yeah, go ahead and shoot me an email over there and I'll look for it and I'll see what I got. Or I might be able, I mean, what happened? Are you saying it quit working or something? Because I know the Kenwood made one. Now, I can't remember how good the Kenwood multi CD changer was, but the one that Pioneer made was pretty good. I had that, I had one of those that just worked, very good for years until the digital stuff came along, and I just quit using it. And then I've got another one right now at it's at the store in I think it's at the store in Dayton. Yeah, I think it's at the store in Dayton, and it's a Kenwood, and it's like a pod, and you load all your CDs in the pod, and then the pod's connected to a head that sets in your like your regular stereo rack or stereo shelf, where you're putting that stuff. And if you know anybody wants, I just got 2. I bought 2 when I was meeting with a fan 3 weeks ago. And right after I got done talking to him, there's a guy that sells a little bit of stuff at this one flea market, and he just happened to have 2 non-working Marantz 2016 receivers. Those are the cool old Marantz that have the blue lights, the bluish green lights that everybody likes, and the gyro dial for the receiver. They're in excellent shape, and they just had a minor thing wrong that I've already fixed, and they both work great. And I got those units really cheap, so I can sell them reasonable. But I'll look. Yeah, shoot me an email. I'll see what I got. I may have what she wants. No problem. Oh, yeah. Well, the video he did, not this last video, but the one before that, that was a knee-jerk video where he was responding right away to Ripta's video. And man, he was geeking in that thing. I mean, he even had geeker voice. Blew like 40 windshields. Was it a Honda Civic with a cracked windshield with 2 chubby dudes with their hats on backwards? I bet it was. Probably down there by Cincinnati. I heard there was some world champion speakers there. Yeah, email me a pic. I'll check it out. It's probably something stupid. Those things got a belt in them that goes bad. Yeah, I'll bet the damn belt's bad or something. I got to get the hell off. Even Christmas. It's 12:15. I didn't plan on being on here this long. All right, you guys, I'm going to bull. Anyway, just thought I would point out the hypocrisy. And yeah, sorry, Triple T. I don't see you where you're any better. You've got no moral higher ground on Johnny Gobble. You hang out with some pretty sleazy people. And anybody that would defend the Gotcha Man or Wade Deaver, the bullshit them guys did, nah, Nah, you're on the wrong side of everything if you're trying to defend that shit, because the crap that Gotcha Man did to Dagburn was uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. And I think Dagburn should have knocked on the door and let a big fart when they opened it. To tell you the truth, I don't think he did enough. And then he should have, like I said, he should have spent the whole day over there where Gotcha Man lives, interfering in his real life all day long, so he could get somewhat even, maybe. All right. Hey, I'll see you guys later, man. Appreciate it. Wait a minute. What's this? Yeah, have a good night too. Appreciate you, bud. Yeah. I got stuff to do tomorrow too, man. I'm working on my Power Stroke right now, my big truck. Doing a few upgrades to it. I'll do a video. You guys will like it. That thing's a tire shredding beast. Hey, catch you later, Austin. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you, Ronnie. Appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to Otter Creek. Yeah. And yeah, you guys are hypocrites, man. Hate to tell you. Catch you later.